Okay, so welcome all of you once again in this session. Today we are going to start with our position property of elements. So what is position basically? That property will specify the type of positions we are using for an element. Where we want to place those elements, we will be able to see that. Okay. No worries. I think they should join. Purposely, I have not put any message in the broadcast which I have created. Okay. I wanted to see like how many people join without any notifications, like something like that. So that's fine for me. Okay. So the thing is that how we can place elements on our website, we are going to see that. So by default, what type of positions we have in our CSS, we will see that now. So positions over here, what we have basically static position we have. Okay, by default static position. Static means what? Static means the way we are putting the data on our website using HTML tags, that will be in that position only. Okay, by default each and every element which is placed on any website or web page, that will be static. Okay, next one will be relative. Okay, relative, relative to the nearest positioned ancestor. Okay, so don't worry about that, we will see everything one by one. Next we have fixed, fixed to the viewport. Okay, and then we have absolute, absolute to the nearest ancestor. Okay, and last we have, let's see whether it shows me or not. Okay, we have sticky. Okay, we have sticky over here. Okay, so what it will do, what it will help us to stick something at a specific location. Like you might have seen, like when we have navigation bars. Okay, navigation bars on the top of the page, we see that those navigation tabs are sticked on the top of the page. And when we scroll, okay, when we scroll the data, that navigation bar stays at the top only. And you might have seen in some websites like you might have seen CTA, click to action buttons, like a call for inquiry, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or something like that. Those icons will be present on the right hand side bottom of the screen, so that you are easily, if you are accessing that particular website on your mobile devices, small devices, then you are able to just click on that particular icon with the help of your thumbs. Okay, so that is basically related to UI UX, um, um, UI UX basically we can say. Okay, so in that what we deal with user interface and user experience. How user will be interacting with the, how easily user can interact with the website, and what will be the experience. So everything is covered in UX UI designs. Okay, so we are going to see all of this positions in our this session today. So let's have one file which is called p static dot html. P static dot html. So it will be basically static only. So what things are there? Let's see related to static. Okay, the static position elements are not affected by the top, bottom, left, right properties whatever we provide. Like I want an element to go 50 pixels or 100 pixels or something like that towards right hand side, or towards downside or towards left side, something like that. So all those things will not happen when we provide a position which is called static. Okay, so by default we have everything as static only. So let's have one tag which is called HTML h1 tag, heading tag, and over here what we are going to see. Okay, this is it. Static position. Okay, static position. And over here what we want to do, let's have some styling to it first of all. Okay, so today we do not have any I think Ankita, Yushi, and Mehak, all of you understand Hindi. Okay, okay, that's fine. So what we are going to do over here, we are going to first of all have background color. Oops, style. Then I have to just call, target first of all body. Okay, selector I have to have, and then we can have background color. Okay, okay. So हमने यहाँ पे क्या लिया है, बैकग्राउंड कलर हम यहाँ पे बाय डिफॉल्ट ब्लैक लेंगे. ओके, एंड आफ्टर दैट हम लोग यहाँ पे टेक्स्ट का कलर जो भी होगा उसको हम लोग लेट्स सी व्हाइट ले. ओके, सो दैट आप लोग को ये जो एलिमेंट्स हमने यहाँ पे डाला है, रखा है, वो आपको प्रॉपरली दिखेगा. ओके, नाउ लेट्स सी. We have h1 tag. Okay, we are targeting that h1 tag and we are doing position as static. Okay, now what we want to do, what is the benefit of putting this static not not static, putting this particular position. With the help of this positions we will be able to move the elements on the page. So suppose I want this particular element to go from the top, like top sorry yeah, from the top, go around 200 pixels. Okay, 200 pixels. It is not happening. Okay, if I put left 500 pixels, you can see over here nothing is happening. Okay, nothing is happening. This element which I have put over here is not moving anywhere. Okay, let's see if I have this thing relative. Can you see that? As soon as I changed position as relative, you can see you can see that this particular element what I have put over here, static position, you can see now it is visible over here. Okay, when I had used position as static, nothing was changing. Okay, so it proves that by default each and every element which will be put on our website, that will be static only. So that static positioning is rarely used. Okay, is rarely used because all the elements are by default static. Okay, now next what we are going to have, we are going to have one div. Okay, let's have a class main div. Okay, main div, and after that inside that I'll be having one paragraph. Okay, one paragraph. Lorem 10. Okay, so what is happening over here, let's have first, I'll just rename this file not static only. Let's have it element position. Okay, element position. Okay, now what I have to do over here, first of all, I have to target this particular div. So main div, and over here I'm giving a background color so that we can just see that. Tomato I will give over here so that on black we are able to see tomato. Okay, now next I'll be giving it a height as well. Okay, height of 200 pixels. Okay, now it is clear. And let's have color as well. Color of blue, let's have, so that it's visible properly. Yeah, violet blue, let's see. Or we can have yellow. No, yellow, it will be very light. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Okay, okay, let's keep it yellow only. And font size we will take it as uh, larger, something like this. Okay, or we can specify. Okay, that's it. Now everything is done. What we are going to do now over here, we are going to see the other positions. Like we have one more position which is called relative. Okay, let's see what is the difference between relative and static. We have already seen, but let's see with an example over here. Okay, so यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पे हम लोग ये पर्टिकुलर जो हमारा डिव है, जो हमारा टोमेटो कलर का डिव है, उसको हम लोग यहाँ पे पोजीशन देंगे. पोजीशन पोजीशन हम लोग यहाँ पे देंगे रिलेटिव. ओके, ये पोजीशन देने से कुछ होता नहीं. ओके, पोजीशन देने से कुछ भी चेंजेस, वी वोंट बी गेटिंग एनी चेंज. ओके, what when we will be getting the changes when we provide something else. Like I want this particular div to move from left of what pixels, let's have 50 pixels. Can you see that over here what has happened? Now you can see this particular whole div has moved 50 pixels from its ancestor from its ancestor. Okay, so what is ancestor? Basically, like when we create our family tree or something like that, we have great grandfathers, parents, um, uh, grandparents, then our parents, then we keep ourselves. Okay, something like that. So for this particular div, the parent of this particular container is the whole body. Okay, is this whole body, because this particular container is within this particular body, HTML body, basically we can say. And what is this? Basically paragraph. The paragraph, lorem paragraph, is a child of this particular div. Okay, let's have one more thing over here. Let's have an ID for this. Okay, and let's have my para. Okay, something like this. And over here what I'm going to do, I'm going to target this particular my para. Okay, and over here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give position relative. Okay, position relative. And over here what I'm going to do, same thing I would like to apply over here as well. So you will come to know the difference. Can you see that now? The thing is that what is happening for this particular div, okay, for this particular div, tomato color div, this particular body, HTML body, is the ancestor. We can say parent to this particular div. Okay. So when we provide left 50% pixels, that means what? From left side, please leave 50 pixels and place yourself. Okay, that is happening. Like over here, we have 50 pixels. Okay, now what we did, we have another element which is present inside this particular main div. Okay, which is my para, which is an paragraph. Okay, so what I did over here, I have targeted this particular ID over here, and I have positioned it to relative. Relative to what? Relative to its parent container. So for this particular paragraph, this main div becomes the parent. If you suppose like for this my para also, if your body tag is the parent, then this particular paragraph should not have moved if I would have provided only 50%, 50 pixels. Why? Because this particular div is already moved 50 pixels. That means if I would have moved this paragraph to this location, then I should have provided what? 100 pixels at least. Okay. Now you can see as soon as I increase over here, this particular size is calculated from here, from this starting point till the uh, L character. Okay. So this has become now 100 pixels. Okay. Let's see this particular thing on our browser with inspect. Okay. Now you can see over here as well. Now let me just inspect it. Okay, now what we can see over here. Okay, let's have compute it. Oh yeah. Okay, so what we have, let's have this particular div. You can see over here we have 50 pixels over here. Okay, now let's go inside, deep inside, for paragraph. Okay, for paragraph you can see we have 100 pixels over here positioning. Okay, 100 pixels with respect to its, with respect to its parent element. So the parent element for this paragraph is this particular div. That is why it's moving 100 pixels over here. Okay, and for this particular div, the tomato color div, okay, the parent element is the body of the page website, and when we apply left 50 pixels, it's moving from here to here. That's it. Okay, so is it clear till now what we have discussed, like static and position relative positionings? And we have further more moments in this. Let's see that as well. So suppose I have this left 100 pixels. I what I want now, next thing, top, let's have 150 pixels. Can you see that what is happening? What is basically this top? Top is basically from top, how much space I want. I want 150 pixels. Okay, what is left? From left, how much pixels I want. Okay, so over here we have specified as 100. Okay, now I can have another thing as well. From bottom, okay, let's see what happens. I want to specify bottom as 0 pixels. Okay, let's have 0. Why it is not moving down over here? Why it is not moving down over here? Okay, so what is happening over here basically is that we have already provided a top 150 pixels. That means what? This particular element is already moved to uh, towards top 150 pixels. And now over here we are asking that it should have 0 pixels space from top. It will not go there. Why it will not go? Because we have already provided this. So if I do this, okay, let me just have, it's not going to bottom. Why it's not going to bottom? Let me just have this bottom. We want 0 pixels. Okay, let's have right. We have, suppose, right, we have suppose 60 pixels. So it's going right 60 pixels. So over here we have 60 pixels left. And if I say bottom, let's have bottom 200 pixels. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's have minus 200 pixels. Okay, that is also happening. Let's have 150 pixels. Okay, minus 150 pixels. Okay, should come to this location as well. 10 pixels minus 10 pixels. 50 pixels. Okay, what size we have provided over here is that for this particular div, we have provided 200 pixels. Okay, so what we can do, we can provide minus 200 pixels. Okay, but that will become outside this particular div. So if I provide 180 pixels, yeah, now it is coming over here. Okay, but the thing is that it should have this particular thing as well, 0. Let's see in our browser. Okay, okay. It's already relative. Let's have absolute. Okay, yeah, that was the wrong thing what I was doing. Basically, when we want this particular, okay, don't worry, we will see about bottom. Okay, so did you understand over here what is the difference? Okay, over here what we have to understand कि parent element क्या होता है हर एक एलिमेंट के लिए पहली बार तो. ओके, और जब हम यहाँ पे रिलेटिव पोजिशनिंग देते हैं तो उस टाइम पे वो पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट कौन से कंटेनर को रेफर करता है वो पर्टिकुलर इफेक्ट्स को लाने के लिए. लाइक वो जो पोजीशनिंग है वो अगर लाना है उसके अंदर तो वो कौन से कंटेनर को रेफर करेगा इज समथिंग लाइक दैट. ओके, तो इट विल रेफर द पेरेंट कंटेनर फॉर positioning to this particular location, for positioning to this particular location, something like that. Okay, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग ने ये क्लियर किया है. Okay, next thing what we want to see, we already have seen over here. Okay, no worries. So what we can do, I'll just remove this thing. Okay, so see over here what is happening. What is relative to what? Like हमने यहाँ पे देखो ये जो div बनाया हुआ है, ये जो पर्टिकुलर div है टोमेटो कलर का, ये div हमने कहाँ पे बनाया है? ये बनाया है हमने बॉडी में. ओके, लेट 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 चलो हम लोग उसको नहीं लेते हैं. ओके, उसको नहीं लेते हैं हम लोग. ओके, इसको हम कवर ही नहीं करते. ओके, इसको हम कवर ही नहीं करते हैं. हम क्या करेंगे, पहले इसको कवर करेंगे. ये जो हमारा पैराग्राफ है, इसको कवर करते हैं पहले, फिर बाद में हम लोग इसके बारे में बात कर सकते हैं. आई थिंक बात भी करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, आप लोग को खुद ही समझ जाएगा कि क्या चल रहा है. ओके, साइकिर्ति, आर यू गेटिंग हिंदी? Saikirti, can you just let me know in the chat, please? Okay. Okay. So what we have to understand over here, suppose this is my paragraph, which is present inside my this particular div. Okay. This is clear till now. Okay. Now what we want to have over here, we want to position this particular paragraph. Okay. We want to position this particular paragraph with respect to its parent element. Okay, so parent element for this particular paragraph, the parent element is this particular div, because this particular paragraph is within this particular div. Okay, and this particular paragraph, this particular div is inside the body of the HTML page. So the body of the HTML page becomes the parent of this particular div. Okay, the tomato color div, and the parent of this particular paragraph, this tomato color div becomes the parent for this particular paragraph basically. Okay, fine. So when we use this relative positioning, then that will be referring to the parent container in which that particular element is present. Okay, that is why if we suppose, if we put position over here and keep as relative, okay, and if I ask uh, this particular element to move from left side 100 pixels, see what will happen. It's moving, oops, it's moving 100 pixels. Okay, it's moving 100 pixels from here. Okay, it's moving 100 pixels from here. We are not able to understand whether it's moving from here or referring to this particular div or referring to the body of the page. Okay, that is why what I had done over here, I had provided position to this as well. Okay, as relative, and I had moved this particular thing with respect to its parent container. Let's have um, let's have 100 pixel only for this as well. Okay, now you can see this particular div has moved 100 pixels over here with respect to its parent container, and this particular paragraph has moved 100 pixels with respect to its parent container. And overall, when you see for this particular paragraph, it has moved 200 pixels from the body, basically we can say. So this is the relation, positioning relation, when we provide relative. Okay, relative to ancestor, related to the parent container, basically we can say over here. Hope this is clear now. Okay, so let's understand about absolute positioning first of all. Okay, let's understand about absolute positioning. So just give me 2 minutes, please. 1 minute or okay. So what we are going to do, absolute positioning. The an element with position absolute is position relative to the nearest position ancestor instead of position relative to the viewport. Okay, we will see with an example, then we will be able to understand it in a more correct way. So what we are going to do over here, we are going to create a div, sorry, div. Uh, we can say what we say for this div. Second, okay, second. Let's see second only. Okay, and over here, what we are going to do, we are going to use basically another div we will make inside second. This div we are making over here. Okay, and inside this particular div, what we are going to do, we are going to have some data. Okay, in this particular div we are going to have some data. So what we are going to do, let's put this div is present inside second div. That's it. Okay, this div is present inside second div. So before that, what we have to understand over here, we have to have something to make it noticeable. So for that, I will be targeting second div first of all, second div, and I'll be providing a background color. Okay, let's have background color of green yellow. Okay, now we got that as well. Okay, now next thing what we want over here, we want color, because color is not visible properly. So color, let's have blue. Yeah, this is fine. And let's have height to it. Okay, height as well, of 150 pixels. Okay, 150 pixels we have now. Okay, everything is done. And let's have margin top. From top I want some margin to, let's have 5 pixels. Okay, so now you can see that has come down. Okay, so what we want to do over here, we want something, an element with position absolute is position relative to the nearest position ancestor position. Okay, ancestor element we can say basically. Okay, so what we are going to do over here, we are going to, and this particular position, for this particular main div, will be having position as relative. Okay, relative. What we want to do over here, let's see that also. Okay, and let's have one border as well to it. I'll just make it over here. Border, 1 pixels, solid, red. Okay, we have that border, or we can make it 2 pixels to view it properly. Okay, now we got it. Okay, now what we want, we want this particular inside second, inside second to be targeted. And what I want over here, I want something, let's have background color to what? Let's have background color to uh, green. Okay, that is fine. Okay, and what we are going to do, we are providing color of the text again back to white. Okay, now you can see it has become white. Next, we will be providing the width also, so that it becomes a div, a box inside this particular div, the green div. Okay, so width will be around, let's have 60 pixels. Okay, 60 is very less, so let's have 120. Yeah, 120 is fine. Okay, and after that, what we want to do, we want to provide a border as well to this particular thing. So 2 pixels, 2 pixels solid. We will not provide red, we will provide it blue, or we can say pink. Let's see whether it's yeah, this is fine. Okay, so this is fine. Now over here, what we are going to do next thing is that we are going to provide this as absolute. Okay, so let's see what absolute does. So over here, I'll be making it top. Top, I want 100 pixels. Can you see that? Top, it's having 100 pixel place. And next thing what I want to do, I want bottom. Bottom as 0 pixels. Can you see that? In relative, we were not able to bring it down straight away. Okay, so what I have done, I have brought this particular element at the bottom of that parent container. Okay, and next thing what I can do, I can have right, I can have right 0 pixels. See what happens. Suppose if I want right 0 pixels, I want 0 on top as well. 0 pixels on top. Okay, so what is happening over here, basically I have provided bottom as well, that is why it's going something like this. I want this particular div to be sticking over here. Okay, I have provided bottom and top both the properties, that is why it has become a large, it's occupying the whole width, sorry, whole height. Okay, so for that what I have to do, I have to remove this bottom. Okay, so that I can move this particular div over here. So what is happening over here, right 0, top 0 means from top we will not have any space, and from right also we will not have any space. Okay, so this is with respect to absolute positioning. If I remove this relative, okay, if I remove this relative, so see what is happening. So see what is happening over here, we have to understand that only. Okay, if you want to, if you have anything related, something like this, like if you have a div inside another div, and you want this particular div to move within that particular div, okay, within that particular div, so at that time what you have to do, you have to provide the parent container, the parent div of this particular div, which is a child div of this particular container, position as relative first of all. Okay, position as relative, and after that you have to provide position absolute to the child container, and after that you will be able to do all these things within that particular div. But if you fail to provide this particular position to the parent container, so what is happening over here, you can see now we are we are saying that this positioning will be absolute. Okay, this positioning will be absolute. Okay, and if I remove this also from the child element, okay, you can see right and top are not working at all. As soon as I place this position as absolute, so you can see right and top is working perfectly fine, but with respect to what? But with respect to the viewport. Okay, so what is happening over here? Let's see. Can you see that? It's happening with respect to the viewport. Like whenever I'm moving the screen size larger or smaller, it's sticking to the same positioning. But what I wanted basically, I wanted this particular div to be sticked over here, but it is sticking over here. Okay, so for doing that, to get an position for this particular div over here, what we have to have the parent container have the positioning relative, and after that only we can provide absolute position to the child element. Did you understand the concept over here? What is absolute and what is relative? When we have to use relative, when we have to use absolute. Okay, fine. Now what we have something next thing which is called we can say fixed. Okay, we have fixed as well. So for that what we will be doing, let's apply not up over here only. I'm creating different stuff so that you all can just see. Okay, so over here what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a div. Let's have class as fixed only. Okay, we have a div class as fixed, and I will be putting a data now. I'll be putting a data which will be something like this is fixed div. Okay, this div is fixed. Now what I want to do over here, I want to provide a position to this particular div. So for that I'll be targeting fixed, and over here what I'll be doing, I will be positioning this particular thing as position fixed. Okay, now you can see what we can do over here. I want this particular data to be fixed with the with respect to viewport. Okay, with respect to viewport. So what we want basically, yeah, I'll be just give me 5 minutes. I think I'm good to go with that netlify as well. Okay, so over here what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide bottom 0. Okay, okay, can you see that this is the bottom 0 thing, and let's have right right 0. That's it. So what is happening over here, this particular data is fixed over here. So let's have some more data below this. Okay, let's have paragraph lorem 500 and enter. Okay, Let's have color also. Color yellow. Yellow will be more visible over here. Okay, and a font size, font weight. Let's have 700. Okay, 700 or 900 we can have, so that thickness increases. Okay, over here we can see this particular data what we have put over here, that is fixed now. Can you see that this data is not moving at all? Okay, this data is not moving at all. Suppose if I move change over here something what right, and over here what I'm going to give top 0. Okay, so now you can see like this particular data is fixed on the top of the page, and when we scroll this particular data is already present. Okay, now what I want over here, I want to provide a width of 100%. So what it will happen over here, you can see, and let me have one background color as well so that it's properly visible. Let's have aqua. Can you see that over here we have this div is fixed? Okay, and now when I scroll up and down or something, this particular thing is fixed at this particular location, right? There is no need to provide right now. Okay, because I have given width 100%. So in that scenario we can have only top 0 so that it sticks to top. Okay, and we can just scroll anywhere and we are having that particular data fixed at top. So this is the method how we can do. If I have this particular thing as bottom, okay, bottom fix 0. Okay, you can see over here now we have something like this. So this all things whatever we are learning about positioning, that will be very helpful when you will be creating your projects. Okay, next projects whatever you'll be creating. Okay, now one more one more we have position, that is sticky. Okay, one more position we have, that is called sticky. So suppose within this particular paragraph what we have, I have one thing, like I have another paragraph. Okay, no, I can have something written in italics. Okay, italics. This data will be sticky. This data will be sticky. Okay, so we have this over here. Now let's have some what we say, some styling to it first of all. So I'm targeting I, and over here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a red color. Okay, this is the data. Okay, this is the data. Now you can see everything is moving properly. Okay, this data is also moving along with this particular data content whatever we have. Okay, now I think let's see whether it gets sticked or not. Okay, so what I want position sticky. Okay, let's see what happens now. Nothing is happening. Okay, I have to provide where it has to be sticked. Okay, so I want position, sorry, I want top 0. Here this particular uh, content should be sticked. So if I move, you can see over here this particular data is sticked over here. Okay, this particular data is sticked over here and the rest of the data is moving. Okay, and as soon as that data comes to the original location, that is getting placed at that particular location, and then again it's moving. Okay, can you see that? Are you able to see this, or I should have font weight of 900, something like this. Okay, so let's have background color as well. Background color yellow. Okay, something this. Now you see this is getting sticked, and you can see this is not the location. This is not the location of this particular data, but you can see we have provided position as sticky, so it's getting sticked at the bottom. Okay, now similarly what we can do, we can stick this particular data at the bottom as well. Top we had done. Now I want bottom, bottom 200 pixels. Let's see, do we have that space? So see now, as soon as it reaches 200 pixels, it's getting sticked over here, and you can see over here this particular space has become blank because this data is already sticked over here. If I move up, as soon as it reaches that 200 pixels, it again resumes its place and it's ready to move with other location, other data basically. So this is basically positioning. Okay, so in this what we have, in this we have something which is related to, we can have some data which we want to display. If suppose this was my important data. Okay, this was my important data from this particular paragraph, which I want everybody to see, even if they scroll up or down or somewhere. Like suppose if they are scrolling down or something, I do not want to miss this particular data. Okay, I want this particular data to be visible, so we can use this thing over here. Okay, or what we can do, we can have something. Okay, we can have some image or icon or something at the end of the page, and we can have that also. You can use sticky or you can use fixed as well, as per your requirement. So we do have this kind of feature as well. So as and when required, we will be able to use it. So one more thing over here, the thing is that we have all these functionalities available with us. So it is not like that we won't be having the similarities with other we can say features what we have in this particular topics. Okay, or any topic, but the thing is that depending upon requirement, uh, the usage of those particular properties will change. Like somewhere, if we require something like this, then we will be having this sticky. And if we want something to be fixed, okay, by default, so we will be using fixed. That's it. Is it clear, everyone, till now? What we have covered, like positioning, we have covered everything. So I think this is it from my side for positioning. Just let me know in the chat box, please. Okay. Guys, are you all there? Is it clear? Okay. Is it clear position thing? Sure, I'll be sending that. Don't worry about that. So let me just explain you how to upload your projects on Netlify once again. Okay. I have already explained in one of the video, but still let's have a repeat of that. Okay. So what error you are facing? Can I know that, please? First of all, are you facing any error or something like that, Mac? Okay. First of all, you have to log in on your Netlify. Okay. Log in on Netlify. Then you have to uh, click on create website. Okay. Let me just log in. I'll just show it once again. Don't worry about that. You have to just log in over here. As soon as you log in, you will be able to have this add new site. Over here on this drop down, you have to select deploy manually. As soon as you click on this, you will be coming to this particular page, and you should have a a folder created something like this, in which you will be having your index.html file. Okay, index.html file and other files, and you have to upload this particular whole folder over here. Okay, over here, just you can drag and drop, or you can just click on upload. It will be uploading, and after that you will be getting a link for that particular project, something like this. Is it clear now, Matt? Okay, okay. One more. Yes, Ayushi, tell me, what is your question? Yeah, you can unmute yourself, no worries. Yeah, you can go ahead. Let me just stop the recording, then we can just talk. So thank you for attending today's session.